episode of the For Profit Blogging Videocast. I'm Joe Salci. I still love that. It's just great. We got to get a better piece of paper though, because that one's getting a little ratty, Kathleen. Anyway, I'm Joe Salci from For Profit Blogging, and with me is my partner in crime, Kathleen Selmans.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back. It's exciting. It doesn't feel like it's been a week since the last one. These things, the time flies between
so fast.
It is amazing. All right, so today we got something exciting because we finally did something that in the history of Stacking Benjamins is one of those things that we've always talked about and we know is important, yet we've never done. Tell them what it is, Kathleen. Tell them what they've won.
Well, it's a lot of content that you have to create all at once, and it's a little daunting to set up, but everyone says it's a really good idea to bring people in, and that's setting up an autoresponder with your email service.
Yes, and we use Aweber. There's quite a few different services out there, but I think most people that watch this are either using MailChimp or Aweber, and the system of setting them up is fairly similar in both.
Yes.
Yeah, not too bad. So how'd you decide to do it, Kathleen? Tell more.
Well, I thought I would make it easy on myself at first and set up a Google Doc. And before I got started, I went and did research. Pat Flynn has an episode where he talks to someone from CLV Boost, which I think stands for Customer Lifetime Value. And anyway, he's an expert on autoresponders. So I listened to his podcast, and we'll link to that in the notes later. I also listened to Steve Chu, who is a pro also at that. He spoke last year's FinCon, and I listened to his presentation. And I also read up a bunch. So I knew what I was doing, generally speaking, and then I just got started.
And I think that. You know what's funny? I think that's the most important thing, wasn't it? Was just to get started.
Yeah, it was daunting. I'm telling you, writing 15 emails takes at least as long as writing 15 blog posts.
But that's the thing. In our head, I mean, it felt like this big, huge task. And in the big scheme of things, how long did it take before you had rough drafts of all of these?
Oh, including research, probably 6 hours.
Yeah. I mean, in the huge... With all of the great stuff this is going to do for your blog, what's 6 hours? It's nothing.
Right, and they're actually really fun once you get into them, because the whole goal, especially on a blog like Stacking Benjamins, the whole goal is to show people who we are. Here's something fun that you didn't know about Joe. Here's something fun you didn't know about Kathleen. Have you seen our store? It's kooky and weird, and each email is 2, maybe 3 paragraphs at the most, but you come away from that series of 15 emails knowing a lot more about us, and either liking us more or deciding we're not the brand for you. Which is
fine. Which is absolutely right. Fine. And, the longer the Stacking Benjamin stays around, the more we focus on a few different products, and we want to make sure that people know all the different products that we have. Really, it's a great way to reduce friction with your readers. In fact, it's funny, in the early days of the Stacker, our newsletter, we would get some unsubscribes that said, this doesn't match the tone of your website. And I'm like, which website are you reading? Because this is exactly the tone. But the point was, we had some readers that only knew a little bit of what was on the site. They had no idea of the breadth of the website.
Yeah, and this also, there's something funny about email marketing. I've talked to lots of bloggers about this, and they all agree that it's a little daunting to send emails to your subscribers, because what do you put in your newsletter? Why have a newsletter? You have it all on the blog. It's very, very hard mentally to get around that block. But that goes away when you know that every single person who signs up gets 15 emails from you. No, they're not all in one day.
Yeah. We should talk soon, by the way, about how we set up our email, because since you and I have been working together, our email has really morphed. It started off one way, and I think it's become much more of a machine already than when we started a few months ago.
Yeah.
Let me show this, if you don't mind, Kathleen, making people screen on this. This is our Aweber account. And then here is the series. These are the first 5 that people will get from us. And you'll see the first one is just welcome, and they already know it's called the Stacker, but it's our welcome letter. And you'll see that we've made these to look very much just like a letter to the person. Now, the one thing that we didn't do, which was a mistake way back when, and actually I'm going to blame this squarely before Kathleen and I worked together, on the person that set up my website and my own what do you call it, ignorance. I did not get people's first name. And I love that first name. I love having the first name in the email, so if we had it to do over again, I think I'd have that. But in ours, we start off with Hi Stacker, and then you'll see it's very, very, very simple with a video at the bottom. Was it hard putting the video at the bottom?
No, the video is easy. That formatting on that one killed me. You can see it's like all smushed together, but it doesn't look like that in
Yeah,
trials.
isn't that funny? The cool thing about these, if you've never used a service like Aweber, there's a button up here that you can send a test and just send it. See, it's already filled in for Joe at Stacking Benjamins, and we'll send several tests beforehand so that we can see exactly what it looks like beforehand.
Another bonus of sending a test when you're working with a partner is that your partner might think that because they got a whole bunch of tests that everybody did. So it's always fun keeping each other on your toes.
Are you trying to say I freaked out a little bit?
No, I couldn't tell.
Kathleen, I just got 3 of these at the same time. If everybody got 3 at the same time, that's going to suck. And you're like, calm down, Joe. So then our first one, what's Stacking Benjamins all about? Why did you start with that one?
Just from the research. So the welcome email comes the second they sign up. So you have to opt in, and then you get this welcome email with a cat video, which is all fun, but you still don't really know that much about us. And so what the next email is, it's a little more serious. It's not really serious, but it's a lot of background. Like, here's what we believe. Here's what you can do. Go ahead and open that one up.
Yeah, it's the first one where we actually talk about money management at all. In the first one, we don't talk about money management. You'll see it has the points on our manifesto, the 4 points that are part of that.
Yeah, and then we ask for someone's story. So the best practices I found were make sure every email you send has a link, and every few emails ask your reader to do something for you.
Yeah, which is great. Build that interaction from the very beginning is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look then just briefly at the next 2. Why Joe likes to stack Benjamins. That's just an introduction to me.
Yep.
And then introduction to you.
Yep, and yours has more links back to the site because you've written on Stacking Benjamins a lot longer. So there's some funny stories.
So we got to build that.
Yeah, right. Gotta keep writing.
But then on the 5th one with suggested reading, it says suggested reading, which is giving people tips on what to read. But it's also the first time, Kathleen, we're introducing to them Big Ben's store, which is our store where you can buy stuff. So this is the first. The email number 5 is the first one that just blatantly makes us money.
Right.
Yeah, good stuff there. That's fantastic. So how many total are we having on these?
We have 15 right now. My goal is to have double that, but I'd like to build it as we go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as people go through. You're seeing, look at these early days. So these are 3 days after the previous message. On the first one, or on the second one, 34% of people have opened since we just started this, and 78% opened the first one. That's bad when 22% of people, Kathleen, aren't opening the welcome letter.
Well, I can't say that I blame them because they just got like an email from us 5 seconds before, right?
Yeah, right. So they just assume it's which is really what it is. So that's great. All right, let me turn this off. And that has been super exciting. I mean, it's really cool. Not nearly the the big ugly monster we thought it was going to be.
Not nearly. And in fact, we now have a template that we can use for for-profit blogging.
Yeah, right, for all the sites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, that's going to do it. Until next week, hey, if you've had a success story in an area of your blog and you want to either write about it on the site or you just want to talk about it, send us an email, Kathleen@stackingbenjamins.com, Joe@stackingbenjamins.com, and subscribe to this thing so the next one comes right to your Yahoo mailbox.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.